In order to get to a point to where you can actually have some degree of control over the transformative processes regarding your psyche, you have to allow yourself to mutate enough to where your body can become a storehouse for multiple bodies. You're subject to all sorts of chaos. Just think about it. You know, we possess our parents' genes, and then thereafter, we are having to go through this process of assimilating the information others gave us during formative years into our minds. Then we have to endure predators, and we have to keep on accumulating all of this energy, all of these things, all of this stuff. And on top of that, we have to live in a goddamn world where they're telling us that our natural reactions to things are wrong. This goes into Lucifer, how he went up against God because he thought that he was the shit. And in my personal opinion, he was the shit. But as a result of his iconoclastic hubris, he got sent down to hell and became Satan. You know, when you're just enveloped in optimism bias, you don't know any better when you're having to just see everybody around you and everything around you be pro-life. Pro-life, and if you say anything remotely negative, you will be casted away. Anything that is obscure, you're going to get booted, severely penalized. Now that is a bunch of nonsense. You know, I became a pessimist throughout my whole life. My whole life experiences have been just completely insane, ludicrous, grotesque, almost worse than the H.P. Lovecraft story. Like, it was just pure, sheer ugliness that has this morphing into somebody that has to go to hell in order to see not just two sides of themselves, but they have to see a whole constellation of almost irreparable lowly forms. These lowly forms exist so that they can show you how to scale up to a level that allows you to be able to decipher and to take hold of a whole paradigm of suffering. If there's not nothing, there is suffering. because that something is not real, and it has to dissolve. So you feel dissolving, and with all this extra imposition, all the extra info, all the the personalities that you assume, you're going to feel all that weight, all that you'll be a destructive fireworks display for you. No. In order to allow for the eradication of this stuff to come your way without it being this extremely painful process. That's why death is so painful. Let's think about that. Death is so painful because there's just so much that the body has packed, because you kept deriving from a source that was polluted with all types of nonsense. And now you feel like your fucking body is something. Yeah, fuck that. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's bullshit. This human thing is a bunch of garbage. It is. I believe the human form is the lowest form in the universe. The lowest form in the universe is that of a human being. In my last video, I talked about object to object, visa to visa. You are lowest object. That's why we see all this crap. The historical cycles repeat because low meets low. The Enlightenment phase of humanity was just religious ecstasy. Renaissance period, religiosity was the driving force behind that. To let the unconscious forces, whether, very brazen or very morose or angelic or whatever, or very chilled, all of it came out because it had a way of communicating through real, solid symbols. Now, with my pessimistic Luciferianism, for me, it's like touching the sun. You make the calculations, you prime up your body, and you close your eyes, and you can touch the sun. And just erase all that was just a completely stupid, useless weight on your consciousness. To completely reach out to a whole phase, like everything that happens in this current universe that comes down to the physical plane, it's just a preview of what is to come. Like if you just concentrate enough and you're in a quiet place, you can feel yourself kind of outside of your body. This is what I experience. This is what I trained for in my own way. Nobody taught me. I just kind of figured it out on my own. And for people who are so deeply kneed down into this shit, there's no way that you will be able to see much. But it's palpable. It's you're able to get to see and feel it. You know, I have a hard time just believing that it's all just brain stuff and that's it. I mean, if we are the universe, then it makes sense that it needs orders, scales, laws, dynamics in order to have its place be recognized. I believe that we're also just patterns. A small subset of patterns that is reflective of something more out there. I'm not necessarily talking about other life. Because perhaps this life we say is life is really just one segment. And it's really just not even real life. Like, this is just some weird mechanical phase. But it doesn't, like, look at me. Look at my body right now. Nothing. You know, Lucifer is the light bringer. And pessimism is just to cut through. To dance in the threads of immutable grimace. This light can allow you to just hold that no matter what you do, no matter what you say or think, you know, there's always this one outcome. There's always this one outcome to look out for. That, you know, our real reality is all this crap, all these clothes, everything, nothing. Light has nothing but itself. And the pessimism part is where you go into darkness. You're not trying to shine anything. It's like you're a dark light. You're an unfathomable light. And through that, you allow the dark, unconscious primary forces to link up, with a like and like, but also to have intertwining with a dislike, like. Now, I imagine this in my head. It's just very clear, but for now, I'll just have to stick with crude aggregates. But basically, it's just you're just pulling from the behind, like the forces from behind. They're pushing you forward and bringing you back. so that you show more of the shadow that has been collectively turning around. Because, okay, this is going to be a really... Don't take this example with its technical complications and stipulations. It just... Okay, so solipsism. Make your solipsism the self-centered philosophy an empirical truth. Basically, a primitive, mechanical truth. You can simply call it egoism, but solipsism is more like I'm the only one who I feel may have the most verifiable consciousness out of all the subjects outside of myself. Okay, you make that a thing, and then you're able to see that, okay, and suppose I am the only one whose consciousness is straight on the money. Like, it's clear, it doesn't have all this weird, questionable stuff. It's mine. Alright. So, you look at all the other objects outside of you. In psychology, they call it internal objects. External objects is outside people. Internal objects is your representations. Okay. So, you basically treat the whole world as an internal object because you are a light in the darkness, that you're not even a light. You're just like a dead star. Yeah, like a dead star with a sort of hexagonal organization. So you're basically able to entertain the dimensions of a different beast, a different colored beast. You know, you let yourself be seen by somebody else whose consciousness is even more verifiable than yours. So you, in this alchemization process, you allow yourself to be seen as something without consciousness. And you get filled with a new consciousness. That way, you can just you can be yourself, but through another lens. And you keep this up, your shadow can overcast the collective, and you can see history for what it is. And then you can just keep it all behind you. Because there's no future, because history is all there is. What has beat you will beat you again. Because this is a power scale. Without that consistency, none of this shit would exist. So you can't really say there's a real future, like a distant thing. No, it's here. It's already here. Predetermined. It's a cloud that has a bunch of, mangy interrelations, and with all the volatile activity going on, it's just quietly and passively hovering about the interface. It somehow creates this idea, the lightning strikes a man as he's walking home, and he has all these crazy thoughts that are spurring in his head also, then bing. Then he becomes unconscious. You get where I'm coming from? You get where I'm coming from? And the thing is, this man wanted to see if he could like encapsulate nature in his head. Due to him just going straight in and not giving a damn, seeing if he's gonna make it or not. Because the intention is so well defined that he's already a Superman. Because he is not simply just an agent. He is now primary force that is able to carry the torch to the cloud to show the elements and to be able to study them now, because now he has incorporated a light of his own that will for sure phase out, but now that he has been in the territory and he's seen what he's seen, it'll never go away. You know. So now he can, when he gets struck by a lightning or he gets struck by something else, that information will be released, and then it will finally have a coherence somewhere, because now it has a chance to really get started. You know. You need something so strong and violent. You need some nasty primordial beastly energies to go against God, to go against whatever major force. Ironically, you didn't lose. Like John Milton's Paradise Lost, Satan lost and he got sent to hell and he got shamed, and now Christians like, oh, he's bad, he lost to God, you can't beat God. No. He beat God. That's why he's able to, you know, produce children that have that potential to ascend themselves, to not just be limited to their form. So Satan won, because now he can be master elsewhere. He is running his own universal economical system. And God is simply just an idea. Think about it. You know, think about it. God is not described. But Lucifer is. And Lucifer and Jesus were the closest to this thing, this God thing. God is just a provider of experiences that will, you know, just be up in the air and do what you will with it. The first will. Lucifer and Jesus, I'll basically call him the first, the symbol of firstness. I did it first. And now it's just going to keep repeating itself. Power skills keep going up. And you just do what you will with it. Whatever your design accommodates for, you will find a way to make it apply to yourself. And you can go into the dark yourself willingly, because now you know that it's not really scary. You're not going to lose because you went against it. But you're not necessarily winning either. You're not dominating, because you could easily just be that same thing too. All transmutation leads to a solidified answer, and that's it. And the answer will change, and the answer will affirm itself and disconfirm. You know, so it's it's like you don't have a true stable place here. There's no problem with it. You have no real way of evading it ever. And being optimistic is just a silly thing. You know, praying to some god is a silly thing because you're praying to an idea. How about you just become Lucifer? Be pessimist. Be nihilist even. Nihilist subjectivism, that's my thing. Of course, it'll change with time, but the core of the message will still be the same. You know. To not be another silly putty. Hyper-individualist that goes against the wind. It shows that, I'm making this reality a dream now that communicates with me. And I can lose this form and become what is really within. There's so much shit that's going on there. It's like, damn, you gotta wonder if look, your job is to just emulate things and to not blindly submit to anything because they just want your power. They want your power. If they didn't need it, then they would just go away, you know? But they certainly need you. No, make them need you. And let them do whatever they want to you and use that, whatever they give you, and mentalize it and cultivate it to be something that you want it to be. Because you have a particular thing you're standing for. Now, if you want to be changed yourself, well, that would mean that you will just be the most of yourself and not really give a fuck about anything, any standard, anything. Anything that happens, just take it 100%. You know, there's this, that's my take anyway. I'm just thinking. All you need to do is simply manipulate a thought, with some type of, like, right now, I decided to do the video, and I was feeling psychologically just vociferous, but, I was gonna completely do something way different with this video, but it's like, all of a sudden, I just had this thing coming over me, and it said, do it. I said, yes, let's do it. Open the gates of Eden, whatever. I know I'm saying it wrong on purpose. That's the beauty of it. Just keep shifting, keep flipping the tables. Always gotta keep with the currents. Well, honestly, I have nothing else to say here. I will conclude the video, and I hope this was more useful.